said that
It's time. I'll call the meeting to order. And our first item is our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Vice Chair, could you read our mission?
The mission of Marshall Public School District is to educate, support, and prepare all learners for success.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved. I'll second.
Any additions? Hearing none, please vote. It is approved. Public forum. Now is the time the public can approach the board and make a statement. Moving on to our consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda. Need a second.
I'll second.
Any questions?
No idea how to make through that. Never seen that before.
We'll go ahead and vote.
Log out, log back in.
I'm excited. That's a glitch, and it wasn't even me this time. That's really good.
and then you're running.
Yes.
Yeah.
The consent agenda is approved. Moving on to our financials. Motion to approve our financials. We have a second.
I'll second.
It's open for discussion.
Not a lot to talk about, just the general fund dollar amount is a little larger for June, July. We had our payout checks July 15th. Otherwise, everything else is pretty in order.
Thank you. Any questions? Please vote. It is approved. Anything else to highlight on the report?
Yeah, just on page 2 of the Treasury's report. Last month we looked at it and it looked really good, and I kind of cautioned because of the payout checks. You can see a swing that it went to almost $2 million deficit spending. We do have the 10% holdback that MDE has, so that's right around $2 million. So it should hopefully even out.
Board forum. Board members, anybody have anything to update?
I'll just share at that time that the Finance Committee was planning to meet this afternoon prior to the board meeting, but that had to be rescheduled, so we'll be meeting next week, and I'll send an update out to the board. And that some items from that meeting will be discussed first.
Okay. Anybody else? Moving on to our discussion items. This is our first reading of policies 206 through 214. Anybody have any questions or comments on those?
Share that the board handbook that we approved, that was approved this evening in the consent agenda. Some of that walks through just some more details as we get later in the meeting today. We're going to talk about position openings on the board as well, so that lays out some other pieces as far as what is expected of board members and such. So it's within the board handbook, and a lot of these policies are related to. So.
Very good. Move on to our second review of policies 201 to 205. This will be the second reading of these policies. Any questions? Moving on to our action items, this is approval of a 10-year long-term facilities maintenance plan. Motion to approve it. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Open for discussion.
Open to any questions. This is each year we put together a 10-year LTFM plan. We have our 10-year revenue projections from MDE. We have to submit this to MDE by July 31st. Obviously, past a couple years out, we do put projections in there, but they're estimates and fluctuate as things are needed.
Any comments? I think it's a great piece to work off of. Call for a vote. Is approved. Approval of a resolution establishing dates for the school board candidacy.
Motion to approve.
Need a second.
I'll second.
It's open for discussion.
I want to share that we do have 3 board seats that are coming open this fall. So this resolution is to move forward with that. And I want to share also with the community that on next Wednesday, July 27th, starting at 4:30 here in the professional development room at the middle school, we're hosting a session for any candidates, any people who are interested in becoming a candidate for school board. We've hired someone to come in and we'll walk through what to expect in that position and what it looks like and answer questions people have about it. So that'll take place here, and we encourage anyone who's thinking about running for school board to attend that, share more information as well as that board handbook.
Should they call ahead or just
Okay,
show
they
up?
just show
Either way.
When was that?
The 27th at 4:30.
Are we gonna televise that or record it at least so that it's available for those who maybe can't make it?
We can make sure we record it at least. I don't know if it'll be televised, we can record it, and some information, more information, like details will be coming out. We're working on getting that advertisement out today.
Okay.
What's that? Yep, yeah, it's going on the website and Facebook and.
But I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll link to that.
Very good. Any more comments? If not, we'll vote. It is approved. Approval of the student handbooks. Motion to approve.
Second. Or motion.
It's open for discussion.
This is the annual update of the handbooks for each of the sites. The principals have worked on these. Really not a lot of changes at sites. For this year, Southview had some reviews just with getting the new buildings and changes there, but for the most part, they're the same as they were previously.
So no major
No major
policy
changes.
changes, okay.
No.
Very good. Any questions? On to a vote. Please vote. It is approved. Moving on to our approval of the 2022 to 2025 strategic plan. Motion?
So moved. I'll second.
Open for discussion.
This is the accumulation of work that we've done over the past year. Developing our previous 5-year plan has expired, so the new one we've worked. You guys know we've worked with Teamworks International, come through and develop this plan. A lot of input from different stakeholders into it. The board had a few sessions, and the admin team has had some sessions working on this. We walked through things from the district mission, vision, looking at strategic directions, and how goals all align to that. Within the stakeholder groups, we talked about things like desired daily experiences was a big part of that. So looking at, for each stakeholder group, what is their desired experience when they're interacting with Marshall Public Schools, and how do we make sure we're taking that into account as we're establishing goals and day-to-day activities. So that was some work that I feel is really valuable in us kind of centering ourselves around where we're going forward. A big piece of what you'll see in the new strategic plan is called the operational plan. There's a 3-year operational plan. And the way this new plan sets out is that the 3-year plan we walk through specifically what are we doing this year to meet goals, but then projecting out over the next 2 years, and every year we're reviewing that piece. So it's not a 5-year plan where we set it now and we don't review it again for 5 years until we start over. This one will renew itself every year going forward under those objectives that we've identified as important to us. So I'm really excited to move forward with that. I feel like it really fits the district direction, and it gives each site some chance for adjustment as we go forward each year. So that part will drive the school improvement plans that principals have started looking at, and they've been using this template for that. So you'll see those coming up later this fall.
Will we get an update and the board review that too?
Yep, those will come to the board in October.
Any other questions? Hearing none, please vote. It is approved. Approval of the Superintendent Williams 2022-23 performance goals. Motion to accept them. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
It's open for discussion.
This is part of my contract, the annual goals. Last year I had a goal around development of the CTE center, so I'd like to continue some expanding with that goal for this year. And the second goal is around that new strategic plan. It's going to be a lot of work rolling that out and getting that embedded into our system, making sure we have alignment across all the sites and with the other areas like growth, workforce, A&I, that sort of thing. So I'm proposing for my goals for this.
I think they're great goals. Any other comments? Questions? We'll call for a vote. It is approved. Thank you, board members. Meeting's over.